World Wide Web, the nonsensical and illogical comments of the underworld are hunted by the detectives of the Dusty Comments, email crime unit. These are their stories.
Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm sorry. I had to run in here and just do a quick video. I apologize. You did not see a thumbnail. You did not see a title. But if you looked at the, well, you did see a title. I did put a title on there. If you looked at the title, you know what we're about to talk about. We're going to talk about Tiffany Henyard's really bad week. Y'all, it's getting kind of hectic up there in Dalton, up there in Thornton. So let's rewind. On Monday, she had that interview with Cleopatra Draper that didn't go well at all. If you read through the comment section, it didn't go well at all. It was not well received at all by her, by the community up there in Dalton. So there was Monday. Then on Wednesday, they actually elected the woman that Tiffany Henyard fired as the new trustee, the missing trustee that Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle have been holding out for, is a woman that Tiffany Henyard fired. And then today, y'all, we might have to have a prayer vigil for Tiffany. She's having a rough week. Today, the judge determined that not only can she not be on the ballot, remember the rockus caucus, right? And she did sue Napoleon Harris. The problem is the judge came back and said, no, what they did was fine. Holla at you, and you can only be a write-in candidate. Now, unless there's some shenanigans and witchcraft going on, that's pretty much a sealed deal. She done lost that position. She's already lost it. But so let's just real quick, let's go back in time real quick, jump back in time, and let's look at the raucous caucus, as I call it. And let's just see what happened back then, just in case you forgot or you're new to the story. Let's go.
Breaking news tonight at 10. One of Tiffany Henyard's jobs is at risk. The embattled Thornton Township supervisor wanted to run for re-election, but after this rowdy caucus tonight, her name will not be on the ballot.
Our Jermont Terry has been following the South suburban political drama for years now. He is live with what happened and Henyard's emotional reaction. Jermont.
Erica and Joe, Tiffany Henyard likes to tell people, quote, "Let me educate you on how this works." Well, tonight, you can say she was schooled on how the Democratic Caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the ballot.
Folks lined up early and in the code for the Thornton Township Democratic Caucus. Everyone outside and those inside the auditorium were here to vote on who will be the Democratic nominees in the township, including the coveted supervisor position. And Tuesday night's caucus left the current supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, fuming.
We didn't run none of this the right way. Illegal. Napoleon.
That's Henyard pleading her case to committeeman, State Senator Napoleon Harris. As a committeeman, Harris set the rules Tuesday night, the first caucus in Thornton Township in nearly 30 years.
The person who says this seems to be outdated, you say what to that?
People in Thornton Township may be new to caucuses because they haven't had them in a while, but this has been the tradition for many other townships around the state.
And those in this room came out to see if Henyard would get the nomination, an uphill battle for the controversy surrounding her administration. Henyard was not in favor of the caucus.
I will be suing everybody tomorrow. This is illegal.
This is illegal in your opinion?
Illegal.
Okay, so let's talk about it. I mean, your concern is you brought people in to pre-bus.
All the people outside, they let one person in.
Henyard used Thornton Township buses to transport supporters, mostly seniors, yet many of the supporters did not get inside the packed auditorium of 600 people.
This is a process that's been going on way before me. And it's just, I'm exercising my rights as a committeeman to hold a caucus.
And it is legal. When it was all said and done, the caucus voted and Henyard did not get the nomination. Yet listen to who the caucus placed on the ballot.
The Democratic slate that would represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For supervisor, Napoleon Harris.
Henyard left emotional and upset knowing her name will not appear on the April ballot, to the pleasure of many in the room.
Wow.
I think it's very unfair that I don't get a chance to make the decision of who I want where.
And who did you want to vote for?
I wanted to vote for Tiffany.
She came late, and then she had an attitude because they couldn't get in.
Henyard can only become a write-in candidate, which her supporters say is not impossible.
I think enough people know her name to write her name in, and I believe we could still win it.
Now, to break it down, tonight's caucus was essentially the primary election, and other townships held their caucuses as well on this Tuesday. Now, since she did not win the nomination, Henyard cannot run as an independent, so her only option at this hour is a write-in candidate. Reporting live in Homewood tonight, I'm Jermont Terry, CBS News, Chicago. Joe and Erica.
A wild night. Jermont, thank you very much.
Y'all, Chicago news is just wild. Chicago politics is wild. Okay, so there's so many people talking about this now, so I can't wait. We might do a couple more videos. I have 2, but now that I've seen like 3 more pop up, I don't know. We might be here all night, y'all. Okay, so all right, so that's what happened at the Rockus caucus. And so she did keep her word. She did sue Napoleon Harris. The problem is it didn't go like she wanted it to. So let's pull this in and let's talk about it. All right, let's pull this in. Let's go. All right, here we go. This one right here is hilarious. Let's go.
And now to a major development in the saga of embattled Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. A judge has dismissed her lawsuit, claiming that a caucus that threw her off the ballot was illegal. NBC5's Regina Waldrop has been following this case very closely for a very long time. She joins us now with details. Regina.
Marion, it is official. Tiffany Henyard is off the ballot for Thornton Township Supervisor, a role she was appointed to in 2022. Now, today, a Cook County judge ruled she didn't file her lawsuit properly, and he dismissed it without prejudice, meaning she cannot refile. So I want to take you back to the scene December 3rd. That is when Tiffany Henyard was thrown off the ballot.
Wow.
It was a packed and raucous meeting with an overfull crowd waiting outside. At that time, Henyard called it unfair and illegal. She said none of her supporters were let in to cast a vote. Now, we spoke to elections expert attorney Bert Oldelson, who tells us the caucus was legal, and also a Thornton Township resident who says it might have been legal, but it might not have been ethical.
I think that they used some plays out of Tiffany Henyard's own playbook. They booked a venue that was too small to hold everyone who wanted to attend.
What's going on?
They seated
Mr. Roberts,
their own supporters early.
Were there, conducted the caucus, was done legally. Even a properly filed objection wouldn't have stood. So she's done.
Wow.
Tiffany Henyard's only option now is to be a write-in candidate in Thornton Township's April 1st election. Now, today's court ruling in no way impacts her role as Dalton mayor. She remains the Democratic nominee in that contest, but she also is facing a number of lawsuits and financial investigations. Next Monday evening, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will release her second report on financials at a public meeting at the Dalton Park District. And we've reached out to Tiffany Henyard's attorney, but we have yet to hear back. Stefan?
A lot of people on the edge of their seats waiting to see what's in that report. Regina, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Let's just go ahead and say it. This week, this is going to be a bad January for Tiffany. She's collecting L's. She's been collecting L's since December, but this January, man, she collected them left and right and center. Because you know good and well, that doggone Lori Lightfoot report is going to be something in there that's going to just ruin her day. And oh my gosh, this is craziness, y'all. I did not expect that. I did not expect it. I thought it was going to come tomorrow, but wow. So, and I see somebody here made a great point. I don't know if the write-in ballot counts, but people generally, just a general, I'm not a election analyst or anything like that. People generally at high stakes races generally don't write in candidates. It's usually, when you get down to the dog catcher or the city clerk or something that maybe they don't see as important, or maybe it might just be one person running. That's usually when people, from my understanding, when people will write in a candidate. I don't think you're going to get enough people to write in Tiffany Henyard's name to counterbalance Napoleon Harris. I just don't think that's going to be realistic. That just doesn't even seem like it's going to work. And then you know what's going on in Dalton. It is very possible come this time in April, the end of April, she's going to be unemployed. And I think they take position, if I'm not mistaken, they take that position like in May or June. So she's going to get, the election is over on April 1st. She's going to be packing bags and got to get out of that office soon. This is wild. Let's look at it. There's a couple other YouTubers that are talking about this. And let me see if I can pull them in. Because I do also have another interesting thing to talk about as it relates to pardons. I think this is, I was looking at some of these pardons that the former president was doling out, because he was giving out pardons, like fish dinners on a Friday, right? He was giving them out, and quite a few people got pardons. And there's quite a few people that wanted pardons that didn't get them. And I just think it's interesting, the people that didn't get them is pretty telling. And I might go over that as well. But yeah, thank you so much, Paul Roberts, for that. I appreciate you, brother. The super mayor is about to super fail. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, let's check out. Okay, let me see real quick. There's a couple other content creators that are talking about this, but I see a lot of people talking about the raucous caucus. As I realize, I don't think they're talking about what we're talking about on this evening. Let's see real quick. Maybe I'm the first one. That's crazy. Here, let's real quick talk about another L that she collected, which is the role of trustee that was scooped in on this past week. Here we go real quick. Let's bring this in just to look at it, just in case you missed this. Yep, there we go. Let's go.
Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard was absent from seeing the vacant trustee position filled, a process she's been against. Now some trustees say the next move is to get a budget approved and insurance paid.
Without further ado, we nominate Stephanie Wiedemann.
A position that hasn't been filled since October was decided on within minutes.
I second the motion for Stephanie.
As electors packing a South Holland field house made a resounding choice.
This vote is for Stephanie Wiedemann.
Stephanie Wiedemann receiving the majority vote to fill a vacant Thornton Township trustee position, effective immediately.
To the best of my abilities.
To the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Wiedemann beat out two other nominees during Tuesday night's special meeting. She had served under Thornton Township's previous administration since 2003, but current supervisor Tiffany Henyard fired her when she took office 3 years ago.
You don't pour your entire adult life into 17 communities for, somebody else to come in and watch it fall apart.
She was already on the inside, and she's more familiar with it. I don't know why she fired her in the first place.
Getting to this point has been contentious for months, with trustees Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle skipping out on meetings, fearing Henyard would appoint one of her allies to fill the vacancy. That resulted in a local government shutdown, bus services paused, township buildings locked down, and insurance policies left unpaid.
We might, if we had to wait till the next regular board meeting, but we're hoping to get all that stuff just going as soon as we could.
Wiedemann will fill the trustee position until May, after the April 1st election, an election she says she does not plan to run in. We did reach out to Henyard for comment, but have not heard back.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to.
How ironic is it that Tiffany fired that woman when she first came in? And I've seen the story. It was like literally within a couple of weeks, maybe a month of her being in office, she fired Stephanie Wiedemann and booted her out. And now, how funny is it that she is now the needed trustee that Tiffany needed in order to get things done before she got fired, and before she gets booted out of Thornton Township. And now Stephanie Wiedemann is that trustee. That's crazy. And that is the wildest story. This is the most Chicago story I've ever heard. Shout out to all my Chicagoans. Shout out to y'all. Y'all, I don't know how y'all do it. This is so wild. Okay, so it is almost guaranteed. I feel very comfortable in saying that Tiffany is done being the supervisor of Thornton Township. So now we go zero in on the mayoralship. Now, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I have a video coming up where I look at not Tiffany, not Jason, but the independent candidate, Cassandra Hobson Jordan. So I just do a quick review of her just so you know who she is. I think she has some good ideas. I just want to give you a chance to be exposed to her. So hopefully y'all will check that out. It'll drop tomorrow morning at 8:00. Check it out. Let me know what you think about it. And prayerfully, hopefully, we can continue this momentum. We can continue this steam of encouraging and supporting our adopted township, our adopted town, Dalton and Thornton Townships, respectfully. I think we're all let's just admit it. We're all undocumented Dalton and Thornton Township residents. Just don't tell ICE, right? Don't tell them. I do want to talk about something that's kind of interesting to me. And I think it might just pique your interest as we get ready to see what we've seen on Monday, the end of the Biden-Harris presidency and the incoming of the Trump-Vance presidency. And a lot of y'all know that, of course, right at the end, Biden is throwing out, pardons left and right and commuting sentences left and right and center. And I want to talk about that. But first, I want to say thank you to these supers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Lady Ingram. Another L for Tiffany's box. Thank you so much for the $5 super. And by the way, N-Dog is the consummate, the guaranteed member of this community that keeps everybody in the loop. She just doled out 5 memberships. So if you got a membership from N-Dog, tell her thank you. Thank you so much, N-Dog, for blessing 5 people with memberships. I appreciate you so much. All right, so I was looking at some of these pardons, and I noticed 2 people that didn't get pardons or didn't get, preemptive pardons, because some of these people got preemptive pardons. They didn't even go to jail. They ain't even been tried yet. They haven't been arrested. They got a pardon from Biden. But there are 2 people that really were, I guess, kind of hoping for a pardon. And let me show you who they were. Well, first things first, let's bring this one in. And I thought this was interesting only because this young lady, this is Marilyn Mosley. She was a former prosecutor in Maryland that she has some PPP loan shenanigans and a couple other things. And she was arrested and convicted and all that kind of good jazz. And she was hoping for a pardon. And I just thought it was interesting that in the midst of this, because they got like 100,000 signatures for Biden to give her a pardon, and Biden didn't even pay her any attention. So let me real quick bring this in.
Meantime, today, before President Biden left office, he issued a series of pardons, but former Baltimore City State Attorney Marilyn Mosby wasn't on that list. Fox 45's Jeff Abel looks into that decision and what that means for Mosby's case moving forward.
Well, by the time President Biden had left Washington today, he had signed hundreds of pardons and commutations, but Marilyn Mosby was not among them.
Lift up this case, y'all. We are down to the wire.
Until the very last hour, supporters of former state's attorney Marilyn Mosby were on social media pleading for a pardon.
We are in the 11th hour, and this woman is on house arrest.
So please sign the petition and hashtag justice for Marilyn Mosby.
Online, they had scored 97,000 signatures calling on President Biden to pardon Mosby. Last year, a federal jury convicted her of mortgage fraud and 2 counts of perjury.
As if she did something so drastically illegal.
In December, supporters rallied outside the White House. At City Hall, Mosby's ex-husband made a public appeal.
I call on my colleagues throughout the state, I call on anybody else throughout the state to ask President Joe Biden for a pardon.
But by the time President Biden had left Washington today, it was clear he had not left a pardon for Marilyn Mosby. He'd granted dozens of pardons to felons and family members, but he did not grant forgiveness to convicted state's attorney Marilyn Mosby.
Although Marilyn Mosby's team had a lot of momentum going into this endeavor, it was a very unlikely outcome.
Attorney Jeremy Eldridge says Mosby didn't show signs of those who typically are granted pardons.
In order to get a pardon, you're normally looking for the petitioner to be contrite, to be out in the public having made amends. And Marilyn Mosby, in protesting her innocence, has done quite the opposite. And that flies in the face of most pardon applications.
Online, supporters posted a statement writing, "While we're deeply disappointed that Marilyn Mosby did not receive a pardon, the fight is far from over. Justice is a journey, and we remain committed to standing by her and amplifying her truth." For now, convincing the court to overturn her conviction could be her final hope.
The likelihood of success on appeal within the federal courts is incredibly low.
A hearing is set for next week on that appeal as prosecutors attempt to convince the appeals court that there's no legal reason to overturn the case. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video
Appreciate
to watch.
y'all.
Also, please.
I'm over making a whole bunch of mess over here. Sorry about that. Appreciate that. All right. So that's Marilyn Mosley. She was looking for a pardon and she didn't get it. And I see a couple of comments. Yeah, this is going to be wild. So I think it's going to be interesting. But this is my other question. Should Biden have given Fani Willis a pardon? Because Fani Willis is about to catch it. I don't know if y'all are aware, here in Georgia, she's already lost as it relates to her records. I'm sorry, the Freedom of Information Act. Remember, she lost and she has to pay that organization like $22,000. She has to go before the Georgia Senate committee. They're going to grill her. And she still has to go up to the Senate. The Senate still has that committee open to come and talk to her and subpoena her. Why didn't he give her a pardon? Or was she expecting a pardon? I'm just wondering, because we all were kind of commenting about how, for lack of a better term, bullheaded Fani Willis has been. Was she expecting a pardon or expecting some kind of relief? Was she expecting Harris to have won? And she was like, oh, this is going to be sunshine and rainbows. What was she expecting? Because it seemed like Biden threw out some preemptive. I mean, he gave a pardon to Fauci and nobody's even, he hasn't even so much as seen cops yet. So why did he not give Fani one? Or was she expecting one? I just thought that was interesting, especially considering all of the people that he gave pardons to. It was wild. It was like that Oprah meme. You get a pardon, everybody getting a pardon. So I just thought that was interesting. I want to see what y'all say. But before we get too far, I want to say thank you so much to Boogie R73. No comment, no question. Just pure love of the game. Thank you so much for the very kind and gracious $20 super chat. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for blessing the team. And you are now the stream sponsor. Y'all put Boogie in the chat. Boogie over there representing. Thank you so much. Chris, I'm starting to think that you might be right. Chris says that Fani is toast. I can't disagree with you, though. I can't disagree, though. But so was Marilyn Mosby. She was guilty, and she was expecting a pardon. She was out there looking. Fauci, I think Fauci is guilty. He didn't even ask for one. He got one preemptively. He gave pardons to everybody but my Sunday school teacher who got a jaywalking ticket a couple weeks ago. Like, who didn't get a pardon? I think would be a better question. Yeah, thank you. I'll go ahead and thank Boogie in the chat, man. Thank you so much, brother. What does he say here? Kamala's going to give her a pardon. Oh, was going to give her a pardon. I'm sorry. I think she was expecting a role and position in DC, in my opinion. He didn't get involved. He didn't get involved since the courts are bucking his son's pardon right now. Good point. Good point. Paul Howard going to get him. He could. You're right. Yo, 2025 has not been playing games with Fani. But let's just tell the truth. 2025 has not been playing games with a lot of what I call participation trophy leaders. If you just do a quick scan of many of these catastrophes, things that have happened since January 1st, there's a lot of leaders being exposed. Like, we can look at Karen Bass. We can look at the mayor of New Orleans. We look at that the other mayor in Louisiana that was selling drugs. I mean, craziness, right? We can look over here at Dalton. We can look at Fani Willis. We can look at a lot of participation trophies, what I call them, leaders, and they're getting wrecked. And 2025 is only 23 days in. Can you imagine when it's 123 days? It is going to be crazy. Yeah, that Hunter Biden one, that was kind of wild, to say the very least. Yeah, all will be revealed. All of it will be revealed. Gavin Newsom, yes, that horrible leadership. I mean, there's so many examples. The mayor of Oakland. Please forgive me. Shout out to the mayor of Oakland. She just got indicted. And all last year, she was saying that it wasn't about her. All last year, she was saying the FBI is not looking into her. And then she got arrested. Just craziness. That is a very good question. Brando asked a question. I think this happens a lot. Where there's something that happens, it's all over the news for literally 72 hours. It's all over the news, maybe for a whole week, and then it just disappears and you never hear anything else about it. I agree with you though. I don't know what happened. I don't think Tiffany is related to Fani. I think they probably could be cousins, but I don't have any family reunion pictures. So at this current moment, I'm going to believe that they're not related. Y'all are wild. All right, let's see what we got. So I thought that was super interesting as we're getting ready to go into next week. And I will be going over we will be streaming the Lori Lightfoot report. And then also, once I get my hands on it, we'll just do a quick dive into it, maybe a deep dive into it, and really look at all the parts of it and such like that and see if it really makes sense and if it really jives with what we understand is going on in the township. And I'm looking forward to it. So next week is going to be very hectic. Matter of fact, I think Brother Jason House posted I thought he posted a update on everything going on between now and the first election. Let me pull it in. It was really interesting. It was on the Dalton Trustees, I think, website. I might be wrong. If I'm hallucinating, I apologize up front. I thought they gave like a little. No, I might be wrong. Now they put a waiver to the mailer that goes out, but I thought I saw a post with all of the activities that are going on, when the election is, when does early voting start, and maybe I missed that. So, but there's a lot going on. So we already know that Monday, Lori Lightfoot's report's coming out. We will be waiting with that with bated breath, and then from there, if I'm not mistaken, election starts when? It starts soon there. So they got a lot going on over there in Dalton and Thornton Township, respectfully. So we got a lot to happen over there. Thank you so much. Mr. Brown says, I couldn't help but notice only the fair-skinned friends of Biden got pardons. Man, Fauci and the Biden family, including 2 women, J6 committee, DC cops. You know what, Derek? I appreciate the $5 super and the very keen observation. I think you're kind of right. I just think that personally, I think the pardons that was garbage in my opinion. But I don't think it does set a bad precedent, because now you're preemptively giving pardons for people who haven't even been arrested, who haven't even been tried. So what are they being pardoned for? Just anything? So now I can go out and commit a crime and I've already been pardoned for it? It seems really wild. Or you find out that I did something really gross and egregious, but the president pardoned me. Like, how does that work? I don't know how that seemed like a really bad overstep. And, Biden will have to answer for that before the Lord. So I'm gonna let the Lord sort that out. But I don't think it's a good precedent. I hope Trump does not do that. I'm just praying that he doesn't do that when he's leaving out of office to start doling out freebies, because I think that'd be crazy. But no, I like your call out there. Thank you so much, friend. Appreciate you. All right, what is status quo? How are you doing? All right. The pardons might not be valid. they're too broad. It can be taken to court. Yeah, that's what my point is. Like, what if you find out that I was really wilding out and Biden gave me a pardon and you find out that, I'm racing my Hellcat all around Atlanta? Like, do I get absolved from that? It almost seemed like it's a free pass to be really wild. And I hope that's not what, I hope they're able to push back on that, in my opinion. I don't know. That's a good question. There was literally hundreds. Chris Hep. I can't say emphatically that nobody else. It was only certain people groups, but that's a great question. I don't know, but guess what? We got the best live chat on the internet, so trust me, they will find out. That information will not be hidden for long. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody does it, but it was pretty egregious, and I'm hoping that Trump dials it back and doesn't like come out there with 15,000 pardons when he leaves. That I hope not. I hope Biden did not start a trend. Okay. I want to say thank you. Let's do a little quick housekeeping. Thank y'all so much for checking out the video, the interview that Cleopatra Draper did with Tiffany Henyard. Thank y'all so much for checking out that video. That video has done very well on my channel, and I appreciate it. And I dropped yesterday the response from Cleopatra Draper. That video is doing pretty well as well. So I want to say thank you all very much for that. I'm hoping that you all enjoy that type of content. But I do want to say thank you for another video as well that you all have been driving through the roof. I don't even know how to say it. And it is the video of the Mississippi Valley State Marching Band at Trump's inauguration. This video is doing fantastic. And I really want to say thank y'all, because everything I noticed, I think it's funny. If you don't know, Mississippi Valley State is a historically Black college in Mississippi. Go figure, right? And of course, they were invited to come perform in the presidential parade. Of course, the parade was inside, blah, blah, blah. They performed. So a lot of people of the highly melanated flavor were in their feelings that a Black school would go and support Donald Trump. And so a lot of people were not supporting them. A lot of people were not willing to help them. However, that loud minority was super, super drowned out by the very boisterous majority. The amount of people that supported this school was amazing. They crushed their goal. They had a GoFundMe account, and they crushed the GoFundMe. They came to the school, they came to the parade, and they did a fantastic job. And the very last thing I want to add is that in the comment section, because apparently everybody at inauguration and everybody that supports Trump is a racist, right? I just noticed it was just funny that the only people commenting in the comments on this video are people that are supporting and cheering on and saying how great it was to see the Mississippi Valley State Marching Band at inauguration. So it befuddles my mind, because I think everybody in this room allegedly is a racist, but clearly everybody in the comment section is very supportive, extremely proud, very accommodating to this marching band. And I just want to say it's because of y'all. It's y'all. Y'all are the ones that make this thing great. So I want to say thank you so much. And I mean, such that the trolls that come, they just look crazy. And I just want to say you all really make this thing amazing. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, supporting the video, driving it up. It's doing fantastic. Lots of great comments and all that stuff. But even more than that, the amount of people that say, man, I'm so proud of these young men and women. I'm so happy for these young men and women to have this opportunity, that people who were in marching band and people who don't have any rhythm at all, everybody's like, man, I'm so proud for these young men and women. And very few people, it just seems weird because, of course, everybody's supposed to be racist. Very few people are hung up on the fact that they're Black. Very few people. They're hung up more on the fact that these are young men and women, probably 18 to maybe 23. somewhere in that range, and they get this opportunity to perform in the presidential inauguration parade. And it's so encouraging. So I just want to say thank you to each of y'all. There's about 400 of y'all watching, 420 watching right now. And if you haven't watched the video, go watch it. And if you have watched it, go watch it again. But thank each and every one of y'all for sharing the video, for commenting, for letting it be known, let it be said that we don't buy into that foolishness. We're not buying into it. We're bigger than this. We're bigger than just the fact that I got a lot of melanin. We're bigger than the fact that maybe you have less melanin. We're bigger than that. What we are Americans. We're humans. God made us in his image, and we can celebrate the great things that we see here without being ridiculous. So shout out to y'all. Thank you all so much. And I agree right here, as Choose Compassion said, this was the opportunity of a lifetime. I can't imagine what it would have been like to be one of these drum majors. I have no rhythm like that. I can't imagine what it's like for them to say that they performed at literally hundreds of thousands of millions of people watched this, and they're in there doing that. That's amazing. So shout out to them. Thank you so much, y'all. Everybody that watched that video. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me as an alumni of Morehouse College to watch one of my brothers and sisters' schools get an opportunity that very few schools get. Very few schools get. And for this, to watch them, the Mean Green Marching Machine, they're pretty mean. They did a fantastic job. And I just want to shout them out again. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank y'all for watching the video and giving your 2 cents. I will drop the link here. I'm going to drop this link in here if you didn't already see it. If you want to check it out, because I'm going to get ready to bug out of here. There it is right there. And I just think that it was encouraging to see, to hear. And again, like, man, I'm like, where are all the racists at? I thought everybody was white supremacists. I'm looking here in the comment section, and I'm hearing people more proud than I am. And I'm like, wait, I went to an HBCU. They look like me, and these people are more proud than I am. Shout out. Because at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to do. We're overcoming this foolishness. We're overcoming the dumb stuff, exposing people to this great institution called Mississippi Valley State University, and the wonderful young men and women that make up this school. Shout out to them. So I just thought that was great. I appreciate y'all for checking it out. I just realized, I was like, wait, why not? I've been sitting here rambling. Why not let y'all hear it? You can definitely come check it out, and I think you will get something good out of it. So that's the video there for you. I want to say thank y'all, every last one of you. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Today is Thursday. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Lord willing. We got a busy day here. We got a busy day here at Whitaker Park, but we're going to try to get it back on. I do have that video, like I said, looking at Cassandra Hobson Jordan. I know most of us here, as relates to the undocumented Dalton residents, a lot of us we already got our votes made up, right? But I think it would be good to hear a little bit about the other candidate. She's going to be the Restoring Dalton Party, I think it's called. And it seemed like a nice lady, and she's doing a lot of stuff. And I think you might be interested just hearing. And hopefully we can continue to keep that interest going on and such like that. You are discussing with this. I'm sorry, what? You are discussing with this, miss. I don't get what you're saying. I missed that. Sorry. Let me know what I said. Glamour Speaks. If I might have missed something. Sorry. But back to my point. So yeah, definitely check that out tomorrow. I want to see what y'all think about it. When hear what you think about Cassandra. I've heard some. I've talked to some Dalton residents, and they have some thoughts about her and such like that. So hopefully, it will be a good conversation. It'll be something you at least can get some good feedback from, and give me some feedback. I like to hear that and such like that. So thank you all again for not only rocking with me, but thank you so much for your support of the channel and everything that we're doing over here. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to a great weekend. Now, as I said, Tomorrow is Friday. I got a couple videos popping up that you should enjoy. On Saturday, we'll be doing a live stream, just kind of checking the traps, see what happens. See if Tiffany filing a new lawsuit or something of that nature. Maybe she take the Supreme Court. I don't know. We'll be doing that on Saturday as well. So looking forward to it, y'all. I really appreciate each of y'all. So let's do it again real soon. If you know where to find me, let me just last thing. If you know you got a question, comment, concern, email management. Let us know. dearwokec@gmail.com. I really appreciate y'all. Everybody have a fantastic, blessed night. I will see you all, Lord willing, on tomorrow. So until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Take care.
Hit that like for deal with Christian. Yo, for deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian. For deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it. Just smash it. Hit that like for deal with Christian.